Hey, what's good with y'all tonight? It's your man Donald King. Tonight we're gonna have us a short podcast because I got things to tend to. I got a couple of things I gotta get knocked out. When it rains it pours apparently, and I'm not complaining because, well, hell, I like being busy. Anywho, tonight's podcast subject is about belief systems, faith systems, and the effect they actually have on you. The question I was posing was, does your belief system make you a good or a bad person? Does your belief system, does your faith system, if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, if you're whatever, does it make you a good or a bad person? Right? And I wanted to field that question out there and get some responses, but let's just cut to the chase. Your belief system makes you an awful person. The absolute worst people that I know, and I'm talking about worst in the way of corruption, all identify by some major faith system. The worst, the most greedy, the most selfish, the most lazy and narcissistic people I know all believe in organized religion. Your religion makes you a shitty person. It does. And this isn't like some ideal that Donald King holds. It's verifiable. In order for you to stick with any group, you have to block out anything that suggests what the group is doing is wrong. That means if you're a Christian, that means in order for you to keep the faith, you have to deny reality. You have to pretend that things that don't make sense to you. You have to pretend that you get it, when in reality, it's impossible to get stories that don't make fucking sense. You lie to save face for the group. The same applies to all religions, Jewish, Muslim, all of them, Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist. You have to block out reality in order to preserve the values of the group. Religion necessarily demands that you lie to yourself and lie to others and try to solve all your problems with deep social acting and conformity. Religion makes you a terrible person. The other day I was dealing with this individual who is always on Facebook talking about, or I won't say always, but that's hyperbole, but who oftentimes is on Facebook talking about their faith and their belief in the power of Jesus and yeah. And in the middle of this conversation, this person told me 3 bold-faced lies directly to my face. 3 lies. Consecutively. And you know, the irony is, they feel entitled to do it because I don't believe as they believe. I don't rep their team. How far does that go, really? You don't rep my team, so that means I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do to you. You're not one of us, so I can treat you however I feel like. When you think about things like the Crusades, when you think about every form of colonialism, every genocide, doesn't it start with that ideology? You're not one of us, so I can do whatever I want to you. I don't have to be honest with you. You're not part of my team. That's corruption. That's being corrupt. I don't have to be fair with you. You're not one of us. And you see, faith systems are cultures unto themselves, but more often than not, they sort of spawn cultures, and the cultures that they spawn are just as corrupt as them. Every nation claiming itself to be a Christian nation is full of bigots and bullies and raging narcissists. You're terrible people. As life forms, you need to go in the garbage. You need to be gone. And it'll happen soon enough. But yeah, your religion makes you fucking terrible. It's the reason why so many people are drawn to atheism. Atheists, even though now it's become more of a secular belief system unto itself, People who don't believe, people who don't hold this sort of static and dogmatic view that the views they seek to define themselves by and adjoining cultures are necessarily correct, those people tend to be more open-minded and more honest. So yeah, it's like dealing with atheists a lot of times is a lot easier than dealing with Christians or Muslims or Jews or Buddhists. People who don't believe, people who have the power to, people who actually practice thinking instead of allowing groups to do the thinking for them, tend to be better people. People who actually practice doing good as opposed to assuming that they're good by extension of the groups they're linked to, they tend to be the better people. But any coward can belong to a faith system or a belief system or a culture. It's called an ideologue. An ideologue is a coward. An ideologue is a person who's afraid to face reality and who, instead of facing reality, either freezes in the face of uncertainty or, if they're aggressive with it, chooses to try and force others in reality to conform to and reflect their inner story back to them. Belief systems make you cowardly. They make you scared and judgmental and pious and cause you to develop and hold righteous indignation towards all who do not reflect the validity of the belief system back to you. Belief systems train you to believe that you are right without thinking. I'm going to say that again. Belief systems train you to believe that you are right without thinking. That you are good without being honest. That you are smart without ever using your mind. They train you to believe that authority takes precedence over reality and that you are good so long as you reflect what those you recognize as authorities back to you. And hopefully I said that right. They train you to believe that you are good for simply having the world around you reflect your narrative back to you. It turns you into a pious asshole. A worthless son of a bitch. Every belief system is wrong. As Avatar, I'm telling you, every belief system is wrong. Belief in itself is wrong. Belief is an agreement you make with yourself. A belief system is comprised of a bunch of people making agreements with each other based on agreements someone else came up with and that they've accepted and or made with themselves. It's systems of agreements humans come up with that have absolutely nothing to do with reality. The worst people are the religious. You suck. Cowardly ideologues. I am good for belonging to something that says I'm good. Not I'm good based on the impacts I actually make on the world around me. Not I am good based on how I elevate those around me and inspire them to become better. No, I'm good by extension of what I am, not what I do. And that's a faith system summarized as succinctly as possible. A faith system basically imbues an ideologue with this outlook and worldview. I am good because of what I am, not what I do. Now, you may not take issue with that, but if a racist comes over to you and says, I am good because of what I am, not what I do, then you have an issue with it. If a nationalist, and we're talking about from around the globe, if a nationalist comes over to you and says, I am good because of what I am, not what I do, you have a problem with it. especially if they're not from your nation, especially if they're not from your race. Yet here you are walking around in all your piety. The worst people I know call themselves Christians and Jews and Muslims. The worst people. The most corrupt. You fight tooth and nail to make this thing, this story you base your culture on, true and good and right. You fight tooth and nail instead of acknowledging it for what it is, setting it down, and pressing forward towards becoming a better person in reality yourself. You'd rather defend the faith than actually step up and become a good person. You'll defend anything that says that you're good without having to work, won't you? Lazy, good for nothing. Ignorant. Look at all the messes you make in the world around you. I think one of the things that pisses me off most about the religious is not simply the piety, it's the intolerance. If someone says something that goes against your faith system, you feel entitled not just to aggress against them, but you become intolerant of them. Oh, how dare you say something that suggests I'm not right. You're shitty. You're a shitty person. Reality itself says no human belief is right, and yet you go around thinking it's your place to judge and punish people who don't reflect your inner story back to you, who don't tell you that you're right and that you deserve comforts, freedoms, and rewards ahead of other people. You're shitty. You go to your little churches and your mosques and your synagogues just to listen to people tell you you're right, when in reality, agreements humans make with themselves regarding what is right and what is wrong have no power. I get even madder because the majority of you all who are pious, who are intolerant, who are judgmental, you don't even bother to study your religion properly. You're too narcissistic. You've already assumed that you understand it best, and that you are good, and that you know better than other people. You make agreements with yourself and then judge and punish others based on, or at least judge and try to punish others based on agreements you make with yourself. I sit here and these people, especially the majority of people who I interact with who call themselves religious and churchgoers, you guys are fucking awful. I get mad, especially Christians. Like, how do you not do any of the stuff Jesus said? How do you not do any of the stuff Jesus said and still consider yourselves to be followers of Christ? You're competitive, you're righteous, you judge, you're aggressive, you worship money, you worship celebrity. Everything is a false idol. Even your Bible, you worship the Bible as a false idol. You managed to turn the effigy of Jesus, not the effigy, the sort of ideal, the ideal of Jesus into a false idol that you worship. Because instead of actually reading the man's words and learning from them, you'd much rather bow to and worship the image you've created of this individual in your mind instead of actually doing the work of trying to understand them. You fucking suck. You suck. You're terrible people. Terrible, terrible people. Does your faith system make you a good person? No, it doesn't. It makes you awful. It makes you a liar. The only thing it makes you good at is deep social acting and pretending to be good for other terrible people. You suck. And I'm telling you this objectively. The fact that you would lie and block out reality and information, new information that conflicts with your beliefs in order to preserve something that can be destroyed by truth, it means you are choosing corruption over reality. That makes you a bad person. Your intentions mean nothing to that end. You fucking suck. And I'll put it into a frame like this. If you had to choose between keeping the faith and learning the truth, which would you choose? If you had to choose between facing reality alone and comforting the group you congregate with right now, which would you choose? Comforting your friends and relationship and nurturing the relationships you developed through your belief system, or choosing God? Which would you choose? I will turn mother against daughter, or daughter against mother, and father against son, or however it's supposed to go. You know what said that? Truth speaking through Jesus. Because you know what turns people against others? Truth. People have to choose between living for convenience, the convenience of the group, and the convenience of relationships, or truth. Those who are strong enough and brave enough to choose truth, why, they're very few, aren't they? It's only a handful. Only a handful strong enough to choose truth over the convenience of belief systems. Only a few. What does it say? Wide is the path to destruction, or gateway to destruction. My Bible verses is off today. But you know why? Everyone chooses the convenient path. If you belong to organized religion, if you belong to any organized religion, then guess what? You are on that broad path to destruction. It means you're part of the larger group of ideologues. You're part of the larger group of aggressive parasites. Only individuals who choose truth will be saved. Everybody else is going in the fucking trash. Why? Because they choose comfort and convenience and narcissism, aggression, and competition over reality. They choose themselves over reality, which is what organized religion trains you to do. Hey, this is your identity. Defend your identity. Defend our group identity with me. Not be honest. Follow truth wherever it carries you. Adapt. No. Control everything around us. Make everything small. Make it fit with and conform to our inner story. You suck. You're fucking terrible. I'm not pulling punches with you. You suck. And you're going in the trash. You need to. You need to. You need to go in that huge recycling bin and have all that toxicity purged from you. I wish it weren't going to be such a brutal process, but it's going to be brutal and you will have earned it. You suck. You choose groups of humans and to listen to humans over reality. You choose stories over truth. You choose humans over God. You choose appealing to humans over recognizing and syncing up with God. Where does that leave you? Your pride, your vanity, you stoke it. You go into your little echo chambers and you listen to people, you listen to humans tell you that you're right and that you're special and that you're chosen and favored and blessed when you're not. Your vanity excuses you bringing your aggression to people and things that don't tolerate it. Your vanity. And you know what reinforces and exacerbates your vanity? Your belief systems. Name one belief system that doesn't tell people that they're special and unique. That they've got it right and they're the way. Maybe Buddhism, if practiced properly, but somehow Buddhists got self-defense and like fucking martial arts and violence mixed up into the general message. Like, literally, something that's supposed to be about peace somehow became about war. In mastering the art of war. In a simpler form. Your religion makes you terrible. It makes you lie at the most fundamental levels, and the more you defend it, is the worse you get. The more you defend your position, the more you defend your lies, the more you defend... I'm still just taken back by the fact that this person, this self-professed Christian, stood in my face, made direct eye contact with me, and lied. 3 times. Mostly because they don't respect me for the things that I say, which is going to play out very badly for them in a very short period of time. But their piety, their vanity, said I wasn't worthy of truth because I don't believe as they do. I was worthy of their disrespect and their contempt and their dismissiveness because I don't believe as they do. Let's take what I am off the table. In what world could such a foul and funky disposition be allowed into heaven? How could such a terrible attitude and outlook find its way into a space of balance and harmony? It can't. Every Christian, every Muslim, every Jew, all of you, you're going in the trash. And it's brutal. I wish that I really do wish that it was... I wish that it ended with simply being wiped out of existence, but no. That's not how systems work. Balance and systems have to do with, in order to, like, if you create a deficit somewhere, what it takes to offset that deficit in order for there to be balance and an equilibrium state at the level of the system is the deficit has to be filled in from somewhere. And reality is a perfect system. And whatever deficit you cause, it gets dragged out of your potential. So basically you live, I don't even want to call it live, in the most horrific state imaginable, while all of the potential you stripped away from reality in your grand state of ignorance. is slowly and violently stripped from you, and the more damage you've done in reality, the worse you've lived, the worse you've been, is the worse it's going to be for you. Your religion makes you fucking awful. Your cultures make you awful. Awful. Every single thing you do to reinforce and exacerbate your narcissism, your competitive spirit, your aggression, it makes you terrible. Religion makes you terrible. Philosophy, it makes you fucking awful. Shitty. Something that is worthy of, well, worthy of what's coming. You know, like I said, I'm going to wrap this up before too long because I got things that I got to do. But your belief system, it's not something you need to cling to. Yes, I realize that you all were indoctrinated with it. Yes, I know that it came to you through your formative environment. I know that during times of uncertainty, it gave you something to look to as an anchor. I know that during times of stress, it gave you something to help you cling to hope in the realization that ultimately all distress passes. I know that, especially when it comes to mortality being a thing and the fact that, most humans don't know what comes after this stage in life. It gives you a sense of grounding and hope for the future. You want out of this state and condition. You don't want to hurt anymore. I get it. And religion gives you that golden ticket. Got 100 virgins waiting for you, huh? Some golden streets and some pearly gates and bliss on tap. I get it. Makes sense to want to believe in such things, but at the end of the day, if the only thing these religions, these faith systems, these things are good for is making you think you deserve rewards for simply being a thing, as opposed to focusing on the type of things you do, then it's bad for you. Religion makes you worship money. It makes you assume that you are better than the next man or woman. As a matter of fact, it makes you assume that women are inferior to men. It makes you believe that you deserve things you didn't earn and have no interest in earning your keep for. It makes you believe that you can solve real problems with deep social acting and piety. Even worse, it makes you tribal. Again, tribalism, tracing back to narcissism, which is necessarily bound to aggression and competition. Religion makes you awful. It makes you awful. Look at the worst people in the world right now, these conservatives from around the world, especially here in the United States, these conservatives. Reality hates y'all. Okay, I'm not even going to pull punches. You fucking suck. You're going in the trash. Like at the bottom of it. And the worst part, you're greedy, you're selfish, you're bullies. You're hated. The system of reality hates everything. You channel corruption on levels that most humans can't even reach. And the worst part about it is you double down on your narcissism. You constantly feed yourself stories that appeal to your outrage and imbue you with the sense of moral authority to judge and punish others, and it causes you to behave so corruptly. You don't want to solve problems, you just want to force your will on other people because you're fucking cowardly. And reality can't stand you. You mirror corruption so like accurately that reality can't tell the difference between you and the entity corruption itself. You are truly Satan's children. And you're going to feel it. Because everything you do under the spell of corruption, everything you do under the spell of Satan, it gets charged back to you. Again, reality is a system. It doesn't give a shit about little belief systems humans came up with. Your agreements don't have any power here. You're not in control of it. This is how it goes, people. It's how it goes. And look at all these Republican, like, lawmakers and policymakers. Look at all the evil shit they're doing right now because they're trying to win. None of this is free. None of this is free. They're so busy trying to lord it over and defeat humans they train themselves to dislike that they don't even realize they've pissed God off in the process. The children of corruption. The children of Mammon. Mammon. You will have earned your reward. Religion makes you corrupt. It makes you an awful person. And the more corrupt you are, the more awful you are. In any context. But that being said, guys, like I said, I'm going to try and keep this short. Something I want to get to as well. Y'all don't realize how busy I am. I know a lot of you all reach out to me. You know, you want to make connections with me. I have people around the world trying to make connections with me right now. I don't always have time to get to you. If just because you're free doesn't mean I am. Just because you have free time doesn't mean I am. It's a lot of times if I'm online, I'm talking to people. There are people who are reaching out to me, or sometimes I'm on there and it's not even me. Sometimes it's the avatar on there, looking through content, scrolling, getting its bearings on the intellectual placement and the potential of the species and individuals performing within the species. I'm always busy. Always. Between what I have to do in my regular life and what I have to do as an avatar, I'm always busy. Just because you're free doesn't mean I am. Respect my time. Respect my time. Hey, are you busy right now? Do you have time to talk? Hey, if I have time to talk, then I have time to talk. Yeah, hey man, come on, let's chop it up. Because I genuinely love all of y'all. Even those of y'all who are deeply given to corruption, I love you. I want to help get the corruption out of you because I don't want you to catch that fade. I want to help you make as many reversals on the negative impacts you made on reality as I can because I don't want you to hurt needlessly. I say fuck your pride because your pride is only going to get you in a worse state and condition, and I say it with love. I want to interact with you. I want to chop it up. I want to hang out with people around here and do stuff around here and help and be good, but I only have this one body. I have this one body, and all too often I burn the candle in the middle, so it's a lot. It's a lot. If I can't get to you, don't be a fucking raging narcissist. Don't assume, oh, the worst. He thinks he's better than me and all this other narcissistic bullshit. Fuck that. If I can't get to you, it ain't because I don't want to. Understand I have other shit to do. You're not the star of my life or time. You're not the star of my life or time. I have stuff to do that doesn't even have to do with what's going on in this planet. You are not the star of my time. Act like you have some fucking sense about you. Hey, are you busy? Do you have time to talk? Or just send a message and then wait for me to get back to you when I do. Like an emotionally responsible person, but don't bring your narcissism to me. You are not the star of my life. You're not. Don't pretend to be. I don't want to have to tell you directly to fuck off. Anywho, yes, guys, we are here. We're here right now. Religion makes you a shitty person. Remember that. Yo, y'all already know I shoot this on Facebook Live Mondays and Wednesdays. I have stuff that I Mondays and Wednesdays, and I fly all of these over to my YouTube channel. When I'm done, I need to post the link to my YouTube channel, but I think this is episode 72. So, man, it's been a lot of episodes, but I'm still kicking, plugging away at that. Again, I shoot these on Facebook Live Mondays and Wednesdays. You can check me out on Instagram. I'm Avatar Cycle XIII. That's Avatar Cycle 13. I'm on YouTube. Yeah, Donald King YouTube. Yeah, that's my old email, DRK side S76. DRK side 76. Yeah. And then also I post content to Medium. You know what I'm saying? If you guys get any sort of appreciation out of what I do, and I hope you do. I hope you do. I know that sometimes it gets a little intense, but the majority of what I do is designed to help you. If you get any appreciation out of what I do, and you want to see me be able to help other people, you can always, contribute to my effort in this way. I've been carrying this solo for 13 years. I mean, granted, I have had help from different parties, but for the most part, all the work that's gone into doing this, it's been on my back. People have helped me, I guess, monetarily. So there have been a couple of people who've donated, and then also, people who kind of helped me in some day-to-day activities. So I don't want to brush over them. For you, those of you all who have helped, thank you so much. But I do need to get to a much larger platform because I don't know how long I'm going to be in this body, and I want to help as many people as I can before I'm gone. And I'm getting up there. I'm 45. I don't even know how long I'm going to be in this body, but we want to get her done, man. If you get any sort of appreciation out of what I do, you can always join the Patreon family. I am Avatar Cycle XIII. That's Avatar Cycle 13. And you can also, if you want to, you can Salt Bay me with a little bit of love. Throw a little something in the collection plate. I am at Donnie Kang. I'm Donnie Kang at Cash App. DONNIEKANG at Cash App. And you can always donate and contribute. Proceeds go to building this up to a larger platform. Again, I want to reach as many people as I can. So that being said, go ahead and wrap this up so I can go ahead and get to my other duties, my other callings. But, yeah, your religion doesn't make you a good person. It makes you a shitty person. That I promise. Your intentions be damned. I don't care if everyone around you is telling you you're good. That's agreements you all make with yourselves that have nothing to do with how things are in reality. In reality, it's about the impact you make, not what you call yourself, or not the beliefs and ideas you seek to define yourself by. You're doing good, or assuming you're good, but never both. And if you're in the process of doing good, you never have time to think about it making you a good person because you're so focused on making positive impacts, you don't have time to develop a self-image related to them. You're doing good, or believing you're good, but never both. If you belong to an organized religion, then you believe you're good. You're not being good. Because in order to stay with a faith system, you have to block out God. You have to block out reality. You have to block out truth in order to preserve your belief. Which means you are lying. Which means you're out of sync with reality. Which means you and God do not politic and parlay. That's not subjective. Fuck your agreements and everything you tell yourself about how good of a person you are or how good the people around you are. If you suck, you suck. And if you belong to organized religion, you fucking suck. It's not subjective. That said, whenever you're ready to sync up with truth and reality, guess who's here waiting for you with open arms? Bring it in, motherfucker. Bring it in. It's your man. I'm out.